Sorry, we discussed column 3 also.
No, we discussed like the first in the first part, and then we discussed the problem one of this section, section two, and then this is the problem two of this section.
Can you
Sir,
show?
I,
Yeah,
Yeah.
previous.
I couldn't find yesterday's recording session, sir.
Yeah, it is on. I posted on Discourse as well. I'll share you the Discourse link.
Yes, sir.
So problem 3, can you share?
Problem three, there were only two problems in the section one, and then in section two there will be two problems. In this is the format of previous OPPs. This time you will have two sections with three problems, and two will be from totally from awk, two will be from SAD, and two will be from like bash mixed with awk and SAD. So all of the six will be mandatory to solve. There won't be any options in that. And in this format, we had three sections. So in the first section, we had two problems, and we discussed those two problems about the Sunday, and then this the first to remove the colon as the field separator,
Okay.
swapping the two fields.
Next, we discussed
The
problem.
awk problem to count the topper for each school.
Just, can you just show the question once? I need
Yeah.
to. So yesterday we discussed that this question of
Yeah.
finding the
Topper for each school.
topper. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we will discuss. We move on to problem two, and you can go ahead and start with it. I'll share you the sample inputs.
Sir, can you just put the yesterday's recording link also on the chat?
Yeah, I will share just a minute. I'll share it here as well. I've shared it on Discord, so I'll share it as here as well. Just start off with this question. I'll share.
Questions.
I've shared the Discord post link for the. I'll update the link for this recording as well in there only.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Is the question clear to everyone?
So please zoom it.
Yeah. Is the question clear with everyone? We can start off.
So a bit confusion.
Yeah, tell me how much did you get it?
I just get this the number of first line of output where we have to give the number of user defined functions.
Yeah. So you got the like what we are trying to get. We are just trying to get the number of total number of user defined functions in a Python script that has been provided to you, and in that script, how many times those functions are called. Suppose there are two functions, function one and function two. Then we have to just format the output as the function one, the name of the function, and how many time it is called in the script.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just that in the output first, in the output we will have this two, how many user functions are unique user functions are defined, and in within in the second line it will have from the second line it will have all the number of all the functions and how many times they are being called. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So
Could you
yeah, you like can you like start off with it and do like juggle through it for 5-10 minutes. We will discuss at like in 7 minutes in 4:25 then. Yes, I want you to go through it. I won't give you this entire solution for this. I want you to go through with it and do that exactly how you will do it. I want to know that.
Sir, input is given in the comment.
No, no, I already shared the input right in the chat. The input file.
Yeah.
Take the second one. In the first one, it has a page number inserted to it. So copy paste the second one.
So have you discussed VM task already?
No, no. We will first discuss about this. First, we will get over with these previous year question papers, and then we will move on to that.
Okay.
So can you scroll down?
Actually, after that, we only have this solution for that.
Okay.
These are the test cases that I already shared. So has anyone completed the question? Hello.
Just give
Yes, sir.
3-4 more minutes. 5
Yeah,
Sir,
minutes.
yeah.
not getting, sir.
All right. Okay, I'll share the approach after like 4:30.
Can you please solve this? I mean, try to give us the approach.
I'm sorry, Manan. What?
I'm saying I'm not getting this question. I'm facing problems. So
Yeah, I will tell you the approach.
shall we discuss now?
Yeah. Right. So how would you approach this question? Can you explain me a little bit? How would you go about it?
No, sir, not getting the approach. Can't think of anything.
All right. Anyone can tell me any approach that they have, how they can approach this question at the start.
We can first put the the pattern as def
Hmm.
and get the count of the functions, number of functions.
Yeah, that is for the first part.
First part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit more, sir, here?
And we can use field separators to a space and get the function name also, sir.
Actually, by default, the field separator is space only, so we don't have to define it explicitly.
Right. Yes, sir.
So, I'll go with. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here we have that question. Here we have this file. I have this function that I have defined. All right. So if first we want to get the number of functions that there are that we are defining. So first we want to get this def keyword at the start.
Sorry, can you repeat?
First we have to, at the start of that line, it should have that def keyword.
Okay.
If it has the def keyword, then it will then if it has the def keyword, and then it will get the function one, that the name after it, and then see how many fields will this have. This is one field, and this whole thing will be the second field. So you have to get the you have to split this into different thing, as you have to get these. You don't care about what is the argument that is given inside that definition of that function. You just need the function name. So you have to first get the definition part and then get the function name. If it starts with def, then get the function name first. That is the first thing. First count the number of devs there are. That is your first question. Then count. Yeah.
Sir, here we have to count the number of functions, but you are saying we don't want the argument also.
Yeah.
But why we will do that? I mean, we just have to count the number of functions, right?
Yeah, but there are three
Oh.
sub questions in this. So to first to count how many questions there are, how many definitions there are, and how many, what are that, what is that name of that function, and how many time it has been called within that script.
So all this thing we have to do in a single.
Huh.
I mean, can't we do it to first count the number of functions?
We
Then
can do it like you can count the number of function in different three patterns, but then you have to maintain very, like, it would be a very big code. If you were to get one thing, if you are first sorting out what are the functions that are defined, so then you can maintain an array which has all the function definition.
No, but sir, beta, if I have to part this question in three sub problems, then first I have to get the user defined functions count. Okay. And then I can separate out
Yeah,
the
first get it. This function name
function
from
name. Yeah.
this extra string that is attached to this.
Mhm.
And then
Then
when you get the function name, you can store it in an associative array, and then just like, let's just check it. If it like whatever the name of it is after the definition, just store it in an array and then loop over it. After when you search for its execution, how many times it has been executed in that script, you just loop over that. So first of all, what I want you to do, just to get, how will you get this all the definition that are there.
Okay.
Yeah, first get the definition and then get the function name and then check how many times it has been called.
Yeah, so to get the function definition, we have to first count how many functions are there.
Yeah,
I mean,
first just count how many function definitions are there, how many functions that are defined in this script.
so we can start with the begin block.
Yeah, then
Begin is we are initializing a variable count equal to 0.
okay.
Then in the action block um, we are doing the script minus e, and we are choosing a keyword as def in the
We have to do this in awk script.
yeah awk script only. I'm telling.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so can't we use this grep definition in the inside
No,
the awk script?
we cannot use grep inside of awk. We can use the direct regular expression inside of awk. That would be like this. I'll share you how to do that. I'll- Suppose if we want to do that, if we want to get the like in this input.txt, we want to get um, that line starting with def. So we can just say if it starts with, we can use regular expression like this. If it starts with def, then print that line, and the input would be input.txt. So these are the line that starts with def. So these are all the line with the function definition. Then after getting this, you have to get the function name. So getting the function name, I'll give you a hint. You have to use this. I'll share you this resource as well.
But sir, here we have to get the function. I mean, how many functions are there? So you are saying we can't use this grep here in the
Yeah,
awk.
we cannot use grep, but see, we can use regular expression in awk. I
But sir,
use regular expression. Yeah.
we have to write a script, no? So what I'm doing is I'm first initializing the begin block with count equal to 0. Then
Mhm.
I'm trying to means I have to use a regular expression.
Yeah.
I can't use grep here.
Yeah, like grep is just a command to use regular expression for pattern matching in external files. You can use it in bash scripts, and if you want to manipulate anything within awk, you can directly use regular expression within these slash, and see it will only match the lines with that will starts with def. That is essentially starts with d, and then ef that is trailing it. It will only match these lines. See, I have already printed it.
But here you have written awk command, right?
Yeah.
You are not writing a script.
Yeah, no,
To do this in a script, we have to use this.
no. You can
code
you can
source.
do it. You can do it in your script as well. The same thing will happen. Wait, I'll show you. Test.awk. I just find the interpreter as now we just want to get what we wanted to get that starting with definition, and we are just printing it.
You can do the count also sir, here only. You can
Aha,
just put c plus equal to 1.
we
Or
can
a
count it in
function
the
name.
begin block. We can initialize it.
There's no need to initialize. You can do it here only.
You can you don't have to always initialize it, but for
But sir, if we don't initialize it, then
wait, I'll
when the
initialize
variable,
it for this purpose, the demonstration purposes. This is for printing, and then we are just c equals to c
Plus equal to
and then at the end block we can count Print
Print
C.
C.
Is this are you able to understand what I'm writing here right now? Is this like, are you able to understand this, Manan?
Uh, Sir, here one doubt.
Yeah,
You are initializing c equal to 0,
yeah,
and then you are doing this regular expression at the
yeah,
start of the line. We have
yeah,
this def keyword,
yeah.
so you are printing that line,
Yeah.
and we can do this c plus plus also instead of c plus equal to c
C
plus 1.
like C plus plus is not, may not work here. So just for
You,
this,
you
yeah,
can do
Why, sir?
C plus equals
plus
plus
equals to
equal
1.
1.
Yeah, plus equal to. Okay, yeah, sorry, I was. So, sir, what is the difference between c plus plus and c plus equal to 1?
Like there's just the syntax error. Some programming language supports it. Some programming language do not support it.
So C++ won't support this awk.
No. Like org does not have that C plus plus. We just need to increment it, so you can just do either way.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this part is
Yeah, that
clear.
is clear. Yes, sir.
I will just execute it. Then I'll just do test talk with this input.txt. See, it shows how many add function definitions there are, and then what are the function that are defined. It prints them.
It is printing the definition function and means the
Now count.
and the count also.
Yeah,
In the output, we have to get only the count, right?
yeah.
Not
In
the.
the yeah. This is why I'm showing you how it will,
Okay.
how it is matching.
Yes, sir. We just need the number, not the whole function name, right?
Yeah, we just need the function name, not all the arguments that are attached to it. This after this is everything is useless. You just have to get the function name. Now you're like drill through it. How will you get the function name? In like I'll share you one link how you can refer to the documentation of that split in awk. So I shared you. You can go through it and understand how the split works, and then you can split like particular strings with it. Is it clear till now? Will you be trying try to get the function name now?
Sorry, can you repeat?
I was just saying that to work on your own and try to get that function name.
Oh, yes.
I shared you the resource to how to use the split function in awk, and try to implement it on your own.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, my connection was lost. What are we doing here?
We are currently doing this second problem of this section. We are like, do you know how what question are we on
Yeah, yeah,
PIQ?
yeah.
So we are just discussing that only. I just told you that how to get total defined function and how to maintain a counter for that.
Oh, okay.
Now, your next task is to like get the function name. How will you get a function? Get the function name and store it in an array.
Basically, we have to split it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So I've shared the link for that split function, so you can refer to it and understand.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Yes, man.
So to get the function name, we have to again write an awk script with a separate begin and means new script, awk script.
No, no. Within that awk script, first when you get that, when you get these here, when you are getting it right in this test.awk, you are getting with this, you are getting those name of that files. So within that, you have to manipulate in this text block. It will only match the lines which have definition in front of them, and once it matches, you can process them.
But in this, I have to manipulate again and get out the function name.
Yeah, you don't have to write a separate blocks for that. You already matched it, right? The function starting with the line starting with def. So you
Mhm.
just need to get like manipulate the field of that only.
So the link you have shared with us,
Yeah,
in that syntax, what is the use of SEPS in the last?
it is just the field separator that we are defining in there.
Okay, it is mandatory to write that.
No, it's not actually mandatory. You can like if you do not write it, the default will be considered at field separator, which would
Default would be
default way the default
space.
would be space. Yeah, so you don't have to write it. You just need to like write the pattern and the array name which it will split and store all the contents.
Okay, so in this case, we'll just write up to the array part
Yeah.
because yeah, because default separator is space.
Yes.
So we can just write split and function and the thing we are printing out, and then we can store it in array.
Yes, we can like make it an array and store it there. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, here in the split function, first the string will come, right?
Uh,
Uh,
First, the whole thing that we are trying to process and what we are splitting, and like by default the field separator would be space. So first just the split function, the whole record that we are processing, and then the array name.
but sir, here the string will be the function name, right?
What
So we have to
function?
write the whole function, right?
No, we, that is the our whole record, right? So how do we get the whole record that we are currently processing? How we get the contents of the line that we are processing? It's $0, right?
Not getting, sir.
$0 is for your entire record, right? The contents of your entire record. You just
Okay.
need to split the contents of your entire record in, and that's it.
So can't we write the same pattern in the split definition?
I'm sorry.
I'm saying, sir, can't we write the split? Just a minute. Well,
The split in.
I'm saying in the split and the inside the string, can't we write the whole pattern in again?
Why
The,
do
the
can
pattern
we
which we used.
uh, can you like demonstrate it a bit, because I don't get it. Can you like show me something so that we can like I can understand what you're trying to say? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'll wait. I'll give another hint to how to split. So we need to split. So we first we are like by default it is like space separated, and we have one word as definition and the other as the
Hello,
whole.
sir.
Yeah.
I have written something. Can you check?
Split def the regular expression a, and the comma separator as this. No, the in the first argument in the split function we are providing the whole thing. See the whole I get you what you are trying to do. So in this you what in the first argument is the whole array that we are trying to process. In this is not, this will not contain the whole array. You can just use $0 in there to process the whole
What?
thing. And I'll show you just a
Please.
print. We have two fields right here, and the second field has the function definition name. I'll remove this for the time being, the begin and the end block. I'll just run it. So see, this has the this is the second field, right? The first field is the def keyword, and the second field is this function, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And we have to now we can use the split function on this second one. We have to just split it, and our input is, what is our input? The whole $2 field.
Yeah.
And what and just give it an array. What we are trying to get? A function. So we'll just write as fun
We
function.
are getting an array, right?
Yeah.
So A will be written.
Like that. No, this is just an array name that you are defining here.
Okay, function is there. Okay.
Yeah, we are trying to get the function name here, right? I'll just
Yes, sir.
make it more what do we have is func name. All right.
Mm.
Then what do we have? then we have to get the field separator. Here we need to split our like the string in with this.
Underscore would be the separator here.
No, why would be the
No,
underscore be the separator?
underscore no.
See,
Just
we
open parenthesis,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah, just the opening of parentheses.
So,
So
don't we give it in double quotes, inverted quotes?
So this will what this will do, just like just like in Python, what it does, we define a variable in Python and just split the function with a split keyword. Say similarly, this function name func name will create an array of all the elements that there are after separating with this delimiter. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So we can I'll print the in the end
This
block.
$2 I didn't understand. So what is it?
$2 is our second field, right?
Second field. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are just splitting that. That's it. Is this clear?
The seps was another array which was giving the list of separators. Was that? Is this
No,
correct?
yeah. It is for like if you are giving multiple separator, then you can set it as an array. Here we don't use. It was
Multiple,
an
okay.
it was an advanced version for that. I
But
just
if it was a
gave-
single separator, then we don't have to
Give
assign
an
more
array, yeah.
seps. Yeah.
So in the end block, I'll just for in func name, I just need to print it. Print I. So it would be 1 and 2. Okay, I have to print the value of it. Func name I. So we got the function 2 and there is some error. Splitted. We're getting the first in our string, what we are doing.
So in the meanwhile, can you also give this func name? I mean, how it will look?
I should show you.
Yeah.
First will be so the first, see, it will split on base of this parentheses, right? Hello?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it splitted on the base of parentheses. So this will be our field separator, and this will be our first field, and this whole thing will be our second field.
okay.
So we got the name by the first thing. We now we got the name of the function here. This contains the name of a function. Now we need to define array so that we can store these these value. Now we already have that, right? The function name.
Function name is the array.
Yeah. Function name is the array. array, and its first it's the first key is like the name of that function.
Array as in is it
No,
the
no, the
column?
associative array, like the dictionary.
Can you just type what will be the function name contain? I mean,
I'm sorry.
you are splitting the second field, right?
Yeah,
And it's a array function name. So what are the contents of the function name array?
function name. Wait, I'll show you. Um, for I function name, you just print it here.
Also, sir, don't we need to write the SEPS in split function?
No, 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 no.
No.
That is for like the separator field. That is just for like what it means. We have to define the separator.
Is it optional?
No, yeah, it's optional. By default, it takes a space, but we are splitting our field with this
Okay.
parentheses,
Means
static
3
parentheses.
arguments is enough for split function.
Yeah, 2 arguments is enough. If you have already defined in your script what is the default field separator, it will take that. Otherwise, you have to define it explicitly here.
Okay, okay.
It'll be func name square bracket I.
No, like I in function for like keys in
Okay.
dictionary.
I have
Okay.
keys.
Okay.
So we are getting the value of that key.
The func name is the array, no?
Ah.
Shouldn't it be func name, and in that will be I.
Yeah,
Function name of I.
Yeah.
in the end block it will just like that. Print. We just need to get the function name
The
of
whole function name of.
the first value of that function.
First, or if you
In the
put
First
second, then
also-
it'll give the second one.
Yes, yeah. See, this is the first name and this is the second.
Okay. So, sir, we had split it according to the open parenthesis.
Open parentheses.
So that was the separator.
Yes.
And we got function 1 and the argument, and function 2 and just the.
Yeah, we just need to work on these only. We don't care about this.
Okay, we don't
So-
care about second field.
Yeah, we don't care about that. We just need to get this. And now what our task is to count these. How many times these are being called?
Yeah. Okay.
Other than the function definition, how many times they are called?
Mm.
But
Yeah.
how will we distinguish between one and function one? Because if we count, it'll count both the functions, no? One and two.
1 and 2. I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
So function underscore one
Yeah.
and function underscore two.
Yeah.
So if I take this array and put array one, func name one,
Hmm.
I will get both function underscore one and function underscore two, right?
Yeah.
So if I put a count for this,
Hmm.
it'll count for both. No?
No, you just store it there. Like in if it is there, like you just split it. All right, and after that you just need to
Or
like
if I can put an if statement, if
Yes.
okay,
if it is there, then do that. If it isn't that, then do other thing.
okay, got it. Clear, sir. Clear.
No,
Yeah, Manan.
yeah. Sorry, what you discussed? I just messed out.
Actually, he was saying like if you are to do in this array, how will we keep the separate counts of each function?
So
So we
will-
just put the if statement, or if while looping in that array, we just loop in this thing. Wait, where is that? Now we just have to. Now this is a array, right? Now we can just loop in this array, and then match in this entire file. Like we are currently matching only the definition part, right?
Yes, sir.
So we need to match all the files.
We will run the for loop, right, to get the calls of function 1 and 2.
Mm,
We have to run the for loop, right?
yeah. But see, if you were to run it here, now we have already said this as this block is only getting the lines that starts with def, and it splits and store it into a function name. So what you can do is make an array, another execution block, and do your manipulation there. It will have that func name, and it will you can loop it through there.
So we are creating another action block and second action block, and we can do this getting the function call, right? I
Yeah.
mean, from the function name.
Yeah, function name, just the name, just the name, just match that. That's it.
लोरी मदर जो की बच्ची लोड़ा इतनी गालियां
Kumkum, could
Kumkum.
you like switch off your mic?
Hello,
Yes, Zishan.
sir. Will you upload this video?
Yeah, it will be uploaded.
I am a little bit
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, can we discuss?
Yeah. So can you share your approach? How would you do it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Could you share how would you approach? How would you approach the next part?
So we would simply count these functions, I guess.
No, but there might be like functions which are to be called within like for example, there is one function of A and B and C. So it might be that A might be calling B and might and B in its argument is calling C. So there are three function call in a single line. So how would you account to that? For example, I'll just write it down.
So what we have to do now?
Okay. Um,
Please give us some input functions we
yeah,
can
yeah.
create to that.
For example, if we have this as the we have defined three functions A, B, and C, and we have this function like A which is calling B and B which is calling C. How will you see? There are three function calls. So how will you do it in a like? But they are in the same line, but you cannot check them with a single regular expression like normal.
We can give three different functions where we will count first a function, the functions uh, which are calling function a, right?
Yeah, like function A is like calling B,
Yes.
and then it is calling C.
Yes, we
B
can
is
just,
calling C.
yeah, we can just search out now, like function b is calling c, so there would be c in that function.
Yeah, in parentheses we have to check. So we have to make a code
Yes.
such a way that it checks for within the parentheses if a function is being called again.
Yes.
Not we don't care about the arguments, but we just care about the function calling.
Yeah,
So how would you account for that?
we can just give awk function for say for example,
So can you?
Yeah,
So
like
sir, we have this function name array,
yeah,
associative array, and
yeah.
now we have to get the calls. How many times a function is called
Yeah,
in the format function name colon and the number of times it is called.
it has been called, but it can be called within a function itself. So, like I wrote in chat, A might be calling B and B might be calling C. So, like this is one of the extreme cases, but these are three function calls. So you have to write it as A1, B1, and C1. So when you are doing your checking, so how will you check for it? And you have to account for that as well.
But here, sir, we will have to loop through the array function name, right? First,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have to like
then
in that looping will done. Yeah.
yeah, and then we have to just assign the key with the value. I mean, key is the function name, function underscore name of I, and then we will assign some value to it, like colon 0.
Yeah, we have to assign a value so that we have to maintain a counter for how many time it has been called, right? So we have to maintain a counter for this as well, function name.
Yeah.
So we are just what we are getting. We are getting a function name, and in that we are getting the first one. We have to initialize it to 0, and whenever we find one, we just increment it. So now we have it. So we have to find it. How will we find it? That is the thing. Can you like share me how I can restructure this code so that that thing can work?
Uh,
But I'll
Or you can loop the array, na sir? For
yeah,
I,
yeah,
for
but
I in func name,
yeah.
and then we put if func name I equal to function 1,
Hmm.
then count. Put some variable and plus equal to 1.
Yeah.
If it is equal to function 2, then say C2 plus equal to 1.
but we
If,
don't
And
know. But sir, here we don't know no, how many functions are there. So how
huh. So
can we
see,
assign?
like for what are the like there are in this file like cat input.txt. How many different types of like lines are there? First, there we just care about these definition lines, this definition line, and we just care about these lines that does not have def keyword in front of them,
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
yes,
So we can, but we have to get every line, right? Can you see that the limitation this our current script has, that is it is only getting the lines that starts with def.
starts with that, right? So we have to, yeah, you
We
can
have to
open
check
another.
for, no,
Create
we have
another
to
action
check
block.
for that condition inside our this block, this logical block. It will if we were to do that in a different block, then these whatever we have done will be lost. It will
Yes,
first check for this and then it will check for this. So like whatever we have done till here, it will be reinitialized to 0, and when we are doing it in a second run.
separate. Okay,
But
okay.
but
So
s- but sir, here can't we use this multiple function blocks?
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can use it, but
action blocks.
yeah, we can use it, but like if we want, we have to like store some local variables, right? These are our local variables, so these local variables will be lost.
okay,
No. I am saying, sir, that we are assigning a second action block, and in that we are doing this func underscore name of 1 equal to 0, and means then we are trying to
No,
process the
no,
function
we
calls.
will just do that in a single action block.
How, sir? Not getting.
We'll just check for this condition inside, not outside it. We'll just loop through every line. This will loop through every line, right?
Yeah.
And after looping through every line, what it will do, it will if now we will do that if statement if that whole field is matching this regex. If it starts with def, then what it will do, it will split the second field of that and maintain an array, and then exit that if statement. Is this clear?
No, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay, so what we did, Manan, we did you know that this action block will be looped through every line.
Yes, sir.
That part you understand, right?
Yes.
So what we were doing earlier, we were restricting our search to only only go through the lines which have starting with def. So whatever so this was like that was limiting to only the line that will start with def. So we cannot operate on the lines that do not start with def.
Okay.
So for that we need to get every line that there is in the file, and within that action block we have to maintain an if block. If it starts with def, then do this thing. If it does not, then do the checking part. Is it somewhat little bit more clear now?
Yeah, sir. But here we have to get this now the function call, right?
Yeah, now see we got if the $0 has def in it,
Mhm.
starting if it's starting with def,
Mhm.
then this if block will be executed. What this was essentially doing, this will it do. But
Okay.
now we have the liberty to loop through every line in the file, because we are not restricting us
Yes.
with anything. Here we were restricting us with only the def. If we want to operate on these lines only specifically, then this would have been the perfect thing.
Okay, sir. Yes.
So this part, is it
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now I want you to do in else block, search for that. In loop through this function name in else block and search for that, and maintain a counter if you have. If it founds, then increment the counter. Now, anyone has any idea how we can do it? Now we just have to. Now the next part is just simply in the else part, do the looping. So just do that if you like, if you can. Try it out first.
Sir,
Yeah.
so you have written the function name of 1 equals 0, right? So it means that we are initializing a variable whose name is the function name and we are equating it to 0, right?
No. Function name is the func name. It's an array that has splitted this
Okay,
dollar two.
I got it. But the
Yeah,
function name of one is the function name, right?
yeah. It's a function name, and we
Name.
are just
Very
initializing its
easy.
value as 0.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, which means that, which means the function name is the variable name kind of thing.
It's an associative sort of dictionary. This is the key,
So what
and
is
this
the
is
name
value.
of the dictionary?
It basically it will in our next thing when we will check for function name in our else block, we will check if it is there, and if it is there, it will increment the counter. At the end of our execution of our script, we will in the end we will just increment. We will just loop through it and just tell how many times it has been called in the script.
Okay. So
So basically, this is just to maintaining the counter how many times
okay, so
that
we have
particular.
to create a dictionary whose keys are the function names and values are their number of times it has been
Ha,
called,
ha,
right?
yeah.
So the name of the dictionary is a function name.
Yeah, this is like I'd say that to use the whatever we use say in we say associative arrays here. So associative, we are creating an associative array,
Yes.
and we are that is the key which has
Yeah,
the
that's
function
good.
name.
The key is one.
Yeah,
But we
key.
need the function name, right? With the
Yeah,
function name of one.
yeah. A function name is not one. Function name is this func name, this one value. This is that function name
Okay. That's what the function name of one equals zero.
equals to a. Okay, I get it. I get it. Wait, wait.
Okay, right, right.
They it has to be an
Um,
array in an array to create.
because the
Yeah,
function name of one is just the name. And
yeah. Thank you for pointing it out. I forgot that.
and one more thing, in the input file, the start of the function is identified with the def keyword, right? And
Yeah,
the end can be identified with something like print or return or what?
we and doesn't matter. We just need to get the definition part. This is not actually very like this is very the start of it. I'll This is very vague actually. It can start with def and do not have anything in the end. So I will include the further like they can be further constraint to that. It might be an error in that script that the definition is there is just a def keyword in there and there's no function defined after that. Just like for example, like there is this line def, and we are it will match it, and it will get this def as its function name, and it will check for that. We are not accounting that part right now. I will account it later when we first get the basic logic right, and then we will juggle through the like extreme cases.
Because when some function is called within a function, so
Hmm.
it is not taken as the function is called, right? Only when it is, if for example, if we say define function 2, def function 2, and inside which we say that print function 1, okay?
Huh.
So which means that this means that print function 1 doesn't mean that the function 1 is called. The function 1 is called when the function 2 is called, right?
Yeah,
So
no,
when
what we are not doing that print thing. We are just calling the function itself.
yeah.
Suppose we have a function named one, and we are defining it here as, and then we have function two, and then we have function three, and we are calling it as f1, and then what it is in itself it is calling. It's not printing. It is calling in itself, and this function two in itself might be calling this function.
So which means that if function 1 is called,
Executes, then function 2 will execute, and then if function 2
so
execute,
all
then function
three
3 will.
function counts has to be incremented, right?
We have to increment all the three counters.
Three counts. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, man.
Sir, will this work like this?
Mm. It's count equals to I in function name if function name I equals to function 1. Where are you checking it? It is not checking it anywhere. You have to check in that entire record, right? If the function is called in that entire record. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
So you are looping inside that array func name.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are basically getting the names, the keys, basically the names of that.
Yeah.
So we get the name, and you are checking if it is equals to function 1. You are
Yes.
explicitly checking if it is equals to function 1. This will not it is just checking if 1 is equals to 1. If this will have function 1 name, है ना, and you are literally checking it in a literal sense, like you have wrote it, so it is not checking in the line. It's not clear, right?
No, sir.
Wait, I'll clear it up. You have to check in else. So what will be then the else block? It will be else block will have every line other than definition line, right? So we
Yes.
have to check if that is the case. If it is like that, what it will do? We have to for loop in that function. For like if you were to do that in this name function, for I in name.
Name.
Yeah. Just do that in parentheses. Okay, what it would do? It would just do it has to check for if $0, if your current record that we are processing, if it is matching or not. If it is matching with that function name at I, is it clear?
$0 here is the current record.
Current
But
record, the value of
current
the current
record will
record.
be function 1 and 2 both, right?
No. Current record is a line that we are processing in our file.
Just a single line.
Yeah, just a single line, the current line of that file that we are processing. We are matching a pattern, right? So this is our pattern. So we are checking if $0 has I or not.
$0 is the current record.
Yeah, current record. For example, I will share you once again. This line. This is a record. If if this is a record. This is a record.
Yeah, got it, sir.
Yeah. So this is a record. So it will check the whole record if it has this I there or not. Is
So I
it clear?
didn't understand this. What is the name?
I actually like what she told. We were just referring to it wrong, because the function name one has the function name itself, the literal string name,
Right,
and
right,
we have to define another array which
Right,
contains that. Yeah.
right.
I was doing that wrong. So we made an array name which has the function name. Okay, and we are looping in that. And if our $0, if our current record has that, if it matches that pattern I, then
But this array, why we putting it equal to 0?
we are initializing. We will be maintaining a counter, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it, sir. See.
So if it matches as I, then what it will be? We just need to increment the counter.
Right.
Yeah.
So we will just increment the counter. For what we will increment the counter?
Can you just tell me that for what we will increment the counter?
Func name of 1 plus equal to 1.
No, that is the value.
That is
What will we increment?
Name of
fine.
item was not.
Name of the function, right? I mean,
In which array we'll be doing?
name array.
Name array.
Uh,
And what will be its key?
key will be
I.
I.
Yeah. And we are just incrementing it.
Plus equal to 1.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So we are maintaining a counter. We are incrementing a counter. We are checking if it is there or not. And if it is there, like we are looping in that array. And if our current record matches with that thing, then we are incrementing the counter. That's it.
Okay.
Is it clear till now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Anyone has doubt till now?
So, sir,
I didn't get the initialization part. Why did we
Or what initialization part?
name equal to 0?
Oh, this they call. See, we have this array. We are splitting our the second field there is. If it has def in there, we are splitting the second field there is, and we are getting the function name. We are with the like what we do in Python. We do that split function, right? If we have like an array and we split it with suppose we have this array sample array that we split. Okay, so if we have this, then what will we do? We define an variable name that to store that. So we are just taking that variable, and what we do and a equals to this is our variable, right? So we just use a dot split, right? And in that we set the delimiter as the what space here we have the space. So what this will create an array, right? This will variable will be an array of all these array means list in
Yeah,
Python.
I got that. Yeah.
So this will just contain all. This is basically a list of all the function names that there is. So we are just storing that function name inside another array and initializing it as 0. Its value as 0.
That means function 1 is equal to 0.
Name array will have function 1 which has the value 0, and we will increment it if we find it in line other than starting with def.
Okay. Got it.
sir,
Yeah.
here func name of 1 is the column, right? Containing two functions, function 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's not a column, it's a value. It was showing as a column because it was looping, right? So it is just one value. Function name is func name 1 will have a single value, func name, func 2, func 3, and this will create a array with name func 1, func 2, func 3, and initialize it as 0.
So it wasn't a column like as a
No, it's not a
K2.
column. It was just displaying you as a column because it runs line by line, right? So this will go for the first line and make it as an array, and then if it will go to the second line, check if like def is at the start. If not, then it will go to the else statement. If it has a definition again, then it will just split it again.
Actually, we are creating an array within an array. The
Mm,
func name itself is an array. I'm
Yeah.
taking a value of that.
Value of that.
Yeah, and making another array
Yeah, with name.
with name. Right.
Array? No, name is dictionary, right?
No, basic associative array, basically a dictionary.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, func name 1 is a list or array, what we say. Okay, and inside that the name is dictionary, which or associative array with the value as function 1 and sorry, key as function 1 and value as 0.
0.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that will part only happen if the line starts with definition. If it will start with f, if it not start with f, then it will go to else part. If that if for I in name, it will check for, it will loop through I in name. If that if our current record has that I in its in it, then this will check as a regular expression. If $0 has that keyword, then increment the counter.
So $0 is taking a single
$0
line.
is your entire record,
Entire record means
your
all the
entire
functions.
line that we are processing, not the function, the line we are processing in our file. This here we are doing that $0 is if it has def. This
Yes,
is a
sir.
regular expression check, right?
Hmm.
Similarly, this is a regular expression check. Just we are the regular expression is our variable.
Okay, and $0 is the current record
Current record, yeah.
or
The
the
value,
current line value.
the entire value of that record.
But this will just total up all the functions. It's not doing a separate counter.
I'm sorry.
So this will just total up all the functions. No?
Yeah,
Function one.
this will
It
just
is-
do the all the just this if block will initialize everything as 0 if it encounters a new definition of a function.
But I need individual counters.
Yeah, you need individual counters as well, and the total counter as well. How many functions does that user has defined in that script?
No, total is with the
Total
def,
how
with the
Functions,
def.
how
with
many
the
are
def.
yeah
No,
just
total is with the
just-
definition.
Hmm.
Without the definition, I need the individual counters.
individual counter for how many times that function has been called.
Right.
Yes.
So this will
But,
not give that.
No,
This
this
will
will
give,
not.
no?
This will give.
Second one.
This will see if block is for only checking with definition. If it is not starting with def, then it will go to else block and increment the counter.
Yeah, but this counter will give the total number of functions.
No. Counter is looping in I in name in
Okay.
all the function names that
Okay,
there are,
okay.
all the keys.
Okay.
This is the key that is the function name.
So what will we print now?
It will now see there's no print statement. So this will what it will just do if I just to stop and run it, it will just create a name array and a func name that will just have the counters, how many time it has been counted, just that.
Okay.
So in the now where do we now we are processing everything. So where do we do the printing part? Now I want you all to answer.
Printing in the end block.
Yes. Now we have initialized everything. We have done with our logic. We have to print everything, right?
Yeah.
So we just need to print. What do we need to print? We need to print the function
Total
name first, total
functions.
count. First, the total count that there is.
Mhm.
Then that the function name and how many time it has been called.
Okay, so total 3 print statements. Oh, sorry, two print statements will be there.
Hmm.
First, will give you the total functions. So for that, we will
How will we do that? Can you tell? Can anyone tell me like how can we do that?
we will have to go. We will have to look through the func name array and count
No,
the total functions.
We have to look through the name array. Func name is
Name. Yeah, name,
Why
func
func-
name, one. We'll have to do that. Print. Yeah.
pray for
func-
what one?
I was saying, sir, func name. No, we will loop through the func name.
func
Because we
name,
have to count the number of functions.
yeah, but that is stored in actually the name array. Its key is that func name.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I got it.
For I in
For
name.
I in name.
So I will have all the keys. So
Yeah.
I will just increment the counter. I'll just make a counter and just increment it plus equals to 1. All right.
Yes. Sir.
And then what we'll do, I will just do
Length of the array, right?
what? I'm sorry.
Length of the array, right?
We just need the length of the array. So I'll just do a for loop and increment a counter. Is it clear now how we are getting the total count of defined functions?
Sir, instead of print n, we write print n plus equal to 1.
No, we just need to. We are doing that here, right?
No, we are incrementing the counter n, and then we are printing it. But instead of that, if I merge these two operations, that incrementing the counter as
But
well as
then it will
printing it.
loop through and it will just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. Okay.
So can we just see the output? It will be more clear then.
Yeah, I'll share the output. Now this will print the now and now.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah. Sorry.
I'll just do that. So see, there are two functions that are defined. So it shows us the two.
Yeah.
Now we need the count of that function also.
Yeah, which is stored in the same array.
Yeah.
Which is stored in same name array.
The
Name
value
array.
of these keys.
How will you do that?
For that, you will have to do name, func name 1. You'll have to print
No,
that.
that is just a key. That is for getting that value in here. That is just to get the name function name value in here. You don't have to use it here as well.
Okay.
Just like that, it is a key, right? So we can
Right.
just
Okay.
for
Okay.
loop
Yeah. I'm wrong. Right.
I name again, and what it will do, it will just where we can just do it in here now. I plus 1. Okay. So what are we doing? First, incremented the counter, and we want to get the name of the that function. So we will just go name I. Right.
Name of I is the count.
Name of I is the count. Yes.
I colon name of I.
Yeah.
We have to print it, right?
Yes. So we are just
We want
printing
the
it.
number of functions.
Print I colon name of I.
Yes. I, and we are just colon and the name of I. All right.
But we need the number of functions at the start, right?
Yeah,
sorry?
that'll be at the beginning. Print n will be the beginning.
For
Print n will be at the beginning.
beginning. That's all. But we can't.
Actually, no, we have to make two loops actually. First to increment the counter, otherwise it will just increment and print.
That's what. So instead of using the for loop for counting number of functions, can we use another
Length, I have to see it.
I can hash function name of @ can.
No. That is for in Bash. This is in this we are using. That is for Bash.
It won't work right here.
Yeah, it won't.
Okay.
But I'll just.
Can you just put that on chat also? That bash function.
I'll just after this I will.
Yeah. First we focus on this.
First I in name. We are just incrementing the counter. Count plus equals to 1.
Equal to 1.
And then we are just printing the counter.
Count.
And now for again getting all the names. We are just what we are doing.
Print I colon
Print I, and in again in this colon, and then
name of I.
name of I, the value of it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So it's not like this. Let's check it. It's not with comma, I guess.
Want it? No, no comma, sir.
Yeah. So this will be the. I will just.
This is whole function, right, sir?
Huh?
Whole problem statement solution.
No. It has to have now edge cases. I told you this won't check for A calling B inside, like A calling B and B calling C. So I will get into that now. That edge cases.
Oh,
First we have done with the problem. Now we'll go to the edge cases.
that also we have to.
Yes. Yes. Because this will work, and most of the test cases will pass, but there will be edge cases that might you face, and you just don't know how to do it. This will pass most of the cases. See, it is correct, right? The function 1 calls and 4 function 2 calls. Okay, so we got this as well. We have to escape it. We have to get if it has parentheses at the end as well. So now I want you to give the input. How will we change?
Sorry, I
How and
didn't get.
where?
Hello,
Yeah.
sir. What you are saying? You were saying
See,
that.
this the counter is 5 for function 2,
Yeah.
but actual function call for function 2 is 1, 2, 3, and 4 only. It is getting this print function 2 as well.
Okay.
That
So
mentioned that if the function name is occurring inside the definition of a function block, it should not be counted, right?
no. If the function is calling itself, see, wait, if it is like this,
Now this function, this print function, this is function 2, it's occurring inside the function definition block. So we should not count that, right?
yeah. No, it's not. We are not calling in there, right? Wait, I'll show you again. We are not calling it. We are
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm saying. We are not calling it, but we
Yeah.
are including it. We are incrementing its count.
Yeah. We have to escape that. How can we escape that? And where we will check for it? In our code, where will we check for this case?
So whether we have to find out the end of the function.
Yeah, at the end of the function, we that array, this array will only have that function name and nothing else. So how will we count for that extreme case? Can anyone tell? Where should I write this?
So I don't know if this approach is correct, but somehow for me, with the input given, you have two patterns which we should, two regular expression which we should match. One is starting with def, and the other is starting with function.
Yeah.
Rest we need to ignore.
Rest we need to ignore, yes. If it is calling the function, how do we see? We are checking for that function name here, right? This I is the function name, right? And we are checking if our current record has that name. So that print statement also got that.
Right.
So we have to change that condition here. We can have it. Yeah.
Sorry, sir, you are saying that we have to give two pattern matches. I mean, two definition of pattern, right? One with def and one with
One with
function.
calling, when we call that function, yeah.
But we should give that in the starting only, no?
We should get that at the starting.
Means second pattern matching should be at the starting only.
No, no, it should not be like necessarily should not be at the starting. Wait, I'll show you.
No.
See, it is not at the start, but these are two different function calls.
Yeah.
Now, the def function, the first in the if case, so can you show the code, right?
Yeah.
So in the if case, all the lines that are starting with def will be taken, right?
Yeah, that if block will only have the lines that are starting with def.
Def.
And else block will have
Every other
lines.
line. Every other line.
Even if the def
Yeah.
is present in the,
No, if it is
No, no.
present in the middle, yes.
it will be taken in the else block.
Yes. Yes. It will only check for a def at the start.
So I think in the else block we have to take all those lines outside the definition block.
Outside the else block is automatically taking that all the lines outside the definition.
Now it's actually taking those lines inside the definition block as well.
No, this won't take if it is starting with def. See, if you have a line that is not starting with def, then it is not starting the definition of a function. In Python, we define it right this only now def func name and just parentheses, and we go around writing something and returning something. Right?
Now the definition block is all the three lines, right?
No. There's a definition, not the block. It will just check for this line.
Yeah.
Sir, sorry, Priya.
Yeah, yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah.
No,
this is-
I interrupted someone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Priyadarshi. Please
No,
carry
it's
on.
okay.
No, this thing was that put another instead of else, put another if.
Mhm.
And instead of starting with def, you start with the
Else if, right?
function.
Instead of else, we have to write else if.
Else if,
you
yeah.
can
Else
What
if
in-
block.
Else if you can
what
put
would
else
we
if
write in else if?
and start and match your $0
With function.
with starting with function.
What function? That function name.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Sta-
the pattern
the pattern function.
function.
Okay. So, but then if I were to
It'll be
do
like
it-
hard coding it. I mean,
yeah. But if I were to doing it, if it starts with this, then it won't get this.
no, I'm
And
starting all lines starting with this and then looping through the whole thing.
looping
I'm
through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like see here, what this is doing is to check for every line, right? Now we need to we are doing the pattern matching here in if block.
Okay. Yeah. It won't work.
We
Right,
can
you're
just
right.
change it from here.
Mm,
So if I were to we have to add parentheses at the end, right?
Right.
The function has to when it is called, it has parentheses. So what we can do is just add parentheses and see if it works or not. Is it
Yes.
are you able to get this?
Yes.
no, sir.
No.
No.
See this that I is our name. Okay, function name.
I here is function name, right?
Yeah.
But-
And this tilde, what tilde is doing, it's
Pattern
checking
matching.
regular matching, regular expression pattern
expression.
matching.
Hmm.
Okay, so we just need to check if it has this parentheses at the end as well.
At the end, how it will checking? It will check.
No. If the name of that pattern, so the name of that function. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
If
it
you
is
see
when
the
it's
input, you'll get it.
yeah. Wait,
Sorry,
I'll show
can you-
you. So see, if it has the function name and then the parentheses, that is only when it is called, right? Not here. There's no parentheses here.
But sir, here the function name here is I, which is the along with the parenthesis, right? $0.
$0 is our whole record. Yes.
Whole record, right?
Yes.
And I will also contain the function name, no?
Yeah, just the
Why
function
we
name.
have to put this parenthesis?
No, I will
Just-
just
will
have
be-
function
just-
underscore one.
Yeah. Just this name, function underscore 1, 2, 3. See, this even that's why it was showing that problem. Function 2 was incremented to 5 because it is not checking for.
This I think this code has one error here.
Yeah.
For example, if function one has some arguments with it,
Yeah.
then it would not count that.
No, currently it won't. It will count for everything. Currently,
Yeah, for this output it will be correct, but say for example, function one has some arguments in it.
yeah. It won't count. Currently, what I just wrote, I will change it now. But I
Yeah.
want you to understand that whatever we are doing here, the regular expression thing, why we are doing it. Is Manan, it is clear? Is
no,
it
sir,
clear?
still
No.
confusion.
Okay. So what we are doing here is, see, if what we were doing, that for loop, what it was doing, it was looping through I. The I was the function name without that parentheses, just the literal function name. This function 1 or function 2, that string. All right.
Okay.
And but see that that's why there was a problem. It was the string, right? So
Yeah.
this string also got matched, but we
Okay,
don't want it to match,
Okay.
right? We don't want this to match.
Yeah.
Okay, so for that, for see, in Python, when we call function, we at the end we put parentheses.
Yes, sir.
So we have to, since our array does not have parentheses, just the function name, we have to include parentheses as well
Okay.
in our regular expression. Is it clear now?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Is it clear, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we need to check for that
Okay.
parentheses. If it has parentheses, and this by default it's just the basic regular expression engine, right? So we have to skip it and get everything that is in there, what she said just now. Is it making sense?
No, what you did just now?
I just like the normal getting everything inside the literal parentheses.
Getting everything here means the arguments or what?
Getting everything, arguments, dot star for everything, and in parentheses, and I'm just escaping those parentheses.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Clear, but somehow I tried this. It's not working still, sir. It's still giving 5.
Okay.
Well, maybe I made some mistake.
I just tried myself. Oh, it's still okay.
Hmm.
Warning, escape sequence treated as plain. Okay, we just have to escape it again, I guess. Escape sequence treated as a plain.
Sir, can you please increase
Yeah, font size. Yes.
font size? Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
You see,
It was showing that error. Warning, escape sequence. That was just treated as a plain parentheses. So
Plain-
that's why plain
plain
parentheses. Plain parentheses matlab grouping wala.
Okay.
So we have to escape it again.
Now it's working.
Can you show again, sir? That
Yeah, wait.
what you did?
Just that, escaping it again to make the escape work, and then dot star.
2 times you are escaping it, but
Yeah.
one for the parenthesis and another for
itself. For
for
this,
it.
yeah.
Let me explain. So let's just say this
No,
is
sir,
a
for itself means
Like for this itself, it is escaping this and escaping this, not the literal backslash, forward slash. It was taking as it is a literal backslash. I didn't know that. As it showed me an error. Escaping sequence is treated as plain. Like I tried to escape it, right?
okay.
But it was taking, even then it was taking it as the plain parentheses. Same with the end of parentheses. So I just escaped them again. Then it worked.
So 2-time escaping will escape
Like,
the parenthesis.
yeah.
share an edge if they have.
Was it? So it
Yeah,
will,
huh?
So does
no, I was saying it was only the first backslash, no?
Yeah, the first backslash was taken as the literal. Even then, it was taken as the literal. It might be some awk interpretation that it is doing. We have to escape it twice. It will show if these are small syntactical errors, awk will show errors. And see, I didn't know that either. So it showed me error. Then I got
So after that you modified it and
it works.
but sir, the error doesn't tell you if you have to use
Yeah,
again the
yeah. No, see, it told that warning escape sequence is treated as a plane. So it is not basically it is not doing that escaping part.
even the first backslash is not
Doing that
the
escaping part. So
escaping
you have
part.
to escape it again.
Okay, okay.
So is this correct? Is this clear?
Yes. So one
So now-
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manan,
Yes.
go on. Manan,
Sorry. Yeah. So, sir, I was saying this whole function, we are doing it without the begin and end block. I mean, we
Begin.
don't begin
We don't.
block, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We are just doing the action block.
Yeah, because we are processing every like every line, right? We have
Every
to
line,
process
yeah.
every line. So we don't even like did the regular expression at the start of it to filter out certain lines. We are processing every line, and within every line we are filtering out lines. But first we get every line anyways, and then we divide if it is a definition or other than that.
Okay. So there is no need of begin block because
We are
it
not
is neither.
getting any file for field separators. We are not any like getting any like variables that we need to maintain throughout the code. So that is being done here on itself.
Okay. And we have used 2 action blocks, right?
That's simple. No, just one action block and one end block to print the results.
One action block is this outside. I mean, the first curly braces, right?
Yeah, this is the only action block. In itself, we have if statement. This is the if statement, and this is the else statement.
Okay.
Just one action.
One action block. And then the end block.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So
Right.
yes.
Then now can you tell me one more extreme case that it might have? For example, if there is a line like this, but because there is no function like this, there is no function definition that has been done here, but it starts with def. So our code will increment and gives this def a function name. So it will change this count. So how can we escape that?
We want to find the colors which are
we'll treat the def as a word then. You will have to put /b/b at the end.
At the end, but even then it will get it. Now this is itself in itself. is a
Okay, yeah,
word.
I'll count all of them as a word.
Yeah.
Right.
So we are considering the second field and the separator is parenthesis, so it will
Yeah.
not consider it.
No. That is all right. That is after that pattern matching, but within that pattern matching. But yeah, I get it. You are saying that it will check for that, but this will throw an error.
Yes.
If it is not there, it will throw an error.
Yes.
I'll show you, and I'll modify that input file. Suppose if we have like def, and if we do that,
We don't have a argument parenthesis.
hmm?
We don't have any parenthesis.
Yeah,
multiple
that's why I sold. We are not defining a function as def. See, it showed that we have defined 3 and we have used it 0 times. So this is an error. So how will we escape that error?
But sir, in the second line, you have used def 4 times, right? And you're taking def as a word, not as a function here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is basically a redundant line and totally error. Python interpreter will just throw an error.
This is just a string. Second line is just a string.
Yeah, like every line is literally just a string only, but this is but this matches our like it will match our regular expression of just starting with def.
Okay.
So we have to define if it we have to check if it has
Their
also
function, the
Yeah.
function you have to.
if it also has a function defined in it. But then there could be one line like this. There could be one line like this, def, and there could be one line like def, this, and no function is defined here. We
Name
have
of
to
the
check
function is
for
def. Name
no,
of
no,
the function is
this,
this.
yes, but
But
no, but this is wrong. We do not define function like this in Python, right? We have to get parentheses as well
okay.
and a colon as well.
Uh,
So we have to check for every case here.
Even there's nothing inside that that
I'm
function.
sorry.
I mean, there is nothing inside the def function. I mean, this function.
Yeah,
Still, it will be counted, right?
yeah, it will count
Okay.
because see, even the function definition in itself is wrong. We have to check for a proper function definition that
So what
if it
I'm
is a
asking is if there is something a proper definition like this open bracket, open and close braces and colon, but there's nothing below that. Okay.
then it doesn't matter. See, there is nothing below it here as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but we just have to check for if the function definition is up to the mark, if it is syntactically correct.
So then we have to look for all those lines which start with the and anything and close braces anything. I mean that kind of a regular expression, right?
Yes, wait. So this is the we have to check what will we add here in our regular
Space.
expression.
then dot star, I think.
Space.
Like dot star will get then again get everything, right? All the defs.
No, dot star, open braces, dot star, close braces.
Open braces. So
I'm sorry. We have this space. Okay, then
then parenthesis.
then parentheses. Okay,
And inside
Dots.
that dot star.
inside that dot star we can have anything. Yes.
Um,
And
We
then
have to we have to escape them as well.
okay, yeah.
twice it.
Not twice, I think.
See, this is what it was different here. We are we are using forward slash here to get it, and here we were using literal strings, and we are getting the value as a variable. So we are just concatenating. Basically, we are concatenating these two: the variable value and this string, and then it will do the regular expression check.
Got it.
And here we are just this is just a regular expression in this. Is it confusing too much?
Very, very confusing, sir.
There should be
But
before
there is no
Because this-
function name taken in this pattern.
Yeah, I was going
Function
to say
name
that.
also has to come.
Yeah. See, first for regular expression, see, we match regular expression like this in awk. If you want to target a specific, like we did, if we want to target specific line that, for example, all the line that starts with def, then we will just do this. All right. This is the only way to do it, and it will automatically use basic regular expressions. Okay.
and
So
this curly braces
curly braces is for our action block.
action. Okay.
Yeah, if we want to target a line that is starting with def,
F.
yeah, so then it will only enter the action block. See, the problem with that is that if suppose we have a 10,000 line file, so we if we were to do this, and we just want to get something out of, suppose we just wanted to count the total number of definitions, so we just need to do this and not go through every line, right? Because going through every line will just hog the memory of our system, because there are 10,000 or lakhs of lines. So we just target our search with this, target with our search to catch this regular expression, and then only enter the execution block. If this were the case, then it will match every line and it will go through execution block everywhere. So that is the case for when we are using. And in here, what we did is to get the value I. See, the value I was what it was. What was a variable, right?
It was just function name, right?
Yeah, it was a variable, basically a
Yeah.
variable,
Okay.
and we want to interpret that variable in that regular expression. So we basically concatenated that and that to make this whole a big regular expression.
We concatenated the variable I with the function name.
The value of I, and this parentheses dot star.
instead of that, we can directly use the regular expression right there in the else
But
part.
how will we know what function name we are talking about?
After the I. After the I.
After the I, but then it won't concatenate with this. Then it will just throw in syntax error, or I'll show it. What you are saying, just that thing now.
Yes.
I'll check. Let us check that. Okay, we will just escape them once. All right.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just do this.
Because directly they are not connected.
We don't have to escape, right?
Huh?
We have to, no?
Should we have to escape?
We have to escape.
Then it will take the parentheses as well.
Yeah. Then it only will take the parentheses. Let us check this. Syntax error.
So we don't have to escape it.
I'm sorry.
We don't have to escape it, right? We want the open braces and close braces.
No. But this whatever this you are saying, that this concatenation, like this, what we did here, to do this with this variable itself, right?
Okay.
No, what you were trying to say, explain it to me.
That's good. Can't we use the regular expression like that? So it's not working, right?
Yeah, it is showing. I showed that it is showing the error. Backslash is not the last character of the line, basically. We cannot concatenate it, basically.
Okay.
This is just a syntax error. So we just have to use for concatenating. What we did earlier, and instead of this, we just
Sir, we concatenated here the function name and the
function name and this parentheses.
and for escaping that parenthesis,
We did this.
we did means yeah.
Escaping and escaping again.
So I'm not getting why it is counting the def because firstly it is not splitting with parentheses and we are considering second field there.
Yeah, it won't split. It will throw an error, but it will it will just create that function name, right?
But it is not throwing an error in the output now.
Yeah, it is not throwing an error. The split function is not throwing an error.
In this case, the
It
font name
is
of
just
one.
making another key in the name dictionary, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
in the L, when we went to the else part, it is concatenating with the parentheses also.
Yes. No. Yeah. It will see the split function will fail because there is no parentheses in there, right? But then even then the second like the line will follow up.
Okay.
The dictionary will be created. The array associative array will be created either way. That's why in the end block it's getting printed.
So when it is not going in the else part.
Yeah, no, it will won't go in the else part, right? It now it will like see. Now we have modified it, but earlier it was simply def, right? So we are starting with def, so it will go in the if part only.
Okay.
Is it not clear?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'll
if part
Yes,
is
sir.
clear, but else part, I have doubt in the else part. Else if part, more specifically.
else. Wait. I'll just make another script.
Line 7, line 16 and line
Wait.
22.
Yeah, line 16.
Line this and line this one. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait. What I'll do. I'll make another.
You can just print it and
Yeah, I'll show you. Yes.
show
Yeah.
separately.
Yes. What we will do is just what it will be in the we are getting through the every line. Am I audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are getting through every line, and we are just what we are checking if what we were checking. Can
If at
anyone
the
tell me? Yes.
start of a line, if there is a def
If in that
pattern, yeah.
record, if it starts with def, we use this backslash for regular expression matching. If it starts with def,
Hmm.
then what we will do, we'll just print it. Print. Okay. Else. Else.
Else,
Print not def. Okay. Okay, and I'll just print def, and we'll just print a $0 as well. The whole feed. All right. Is the code clear?
Yes, sir.
mhm.
I'll just mod.file.awk. See, this is the definite way. I'll just change it a bit. Clear. See, this is the definition part. It will the if block will be triggered if it starts with def.
Mm.
This is also starting with def. This is also starting with def.
Def.
This is not def. This
Mm.
again is not def.
Mm.
These lines are not def. We
Not
have an
def.
empty line as well, so that is not def as well.
Okay.
Only these three lines at the start were def. And see, even since we just had the single def, right? So these were also matched.
Yeah, all the defs in the second line means
These are not
multiple defs.
syntactically correct, right?
Mm. Second and third line they are not
So
proper
not
function
yeah.
function definition.
Yeah, even then our regular expression match.
So
That's why we have a problem.
How did you escape it?
How do we escape this problem? I'm sorry, I didn't quite get you.
Yeah, so same question. How did we escape it? The def part.
How do we escape that? Na? That's why we were like discussing that. How will we see in the definition of the function? What do we have? We have like we can what does Python allows in the definition? It can have any number, any character, not any character, but it can have any number underscore and any number alphabet or underscore, right?
Function name, this you are saying?
Yeah, in the
Uh,
function name. See this
It can be alphabet or numeric or special characters.
special characters, but not at the start.
Yes.
No, not at the start. Okay.
Okay. So we can, what character class do we have for that?
Small a to small z.
Yeah, we can do that. It has to be
Square bracket.
A to Z.
A to z.
Then
Then 0 to 9.
it could be capital as well.
All capital or
It could be start with capital, all capital within. It could be totally capital,
okay.
the whole function.
Mhm.
Then
0 to 9
yeah,
and special
it
characters.
can have underscores in it.
Underscores in it.
It can. It does not allow, I guess, anything else. Question mark, full stop, comma, and
No, only underscore. Yes.
yeah, only underscore.
Only underscore.
So it will have these things. All
These
right.
things. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So what else do we have?
Uh, what else means? I mean,
What else do we have? Like how? See. This will only check for one occurrences of these.
okay. Okay. Plus.
Plus, yes, at least one.
At least one.
Yes.
Mm.
And then what do we have to do next?
Then
Then it will be this part, right?
this parenthesis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Inside the parenthesis, every
It
character.
could be anything.
Anything. Yeah.
And what else? What else are we missing?
Uh,
It has colon at the end.
yeah. Colon also. Okay. At the end means dollar you are using.
Yeah, dollar at the end. It should only be at the. It should at least it should be at the end.
Colon should be at the end.
Yeah,
So-
at the end of that line, right?
Yeah.
And nothing else. After that, there should be nothing.
Okay. Mhm.
All right.
Okay. Mhm.
Then only this will be triggered.
Okay.
All right. Then I'll just test it.
Can test it. Yeah.
File.awk input.txt. Oh no, we didn't do that here, right? Test.awk. Oh, syntactical error.
Syntactical error.
In line number 11.
Line number 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, we are not closing the if block. The if block was not closed.
Okay.
We have to close it. We got it.
Okay.
If I were to do this in this test, that what we did, file.awk, I'll just copy it. I'll copy this, then you can understand the edge cases. Wait, I'll just write it. You guys have to tell me now what we have wrote. File.awk. Yeah. Now tell me, what did we wrote?
Okay. So there we wrote small a to small z characters.
Yeah, small a to small z. It could be a to z.
Then capital A to capital Z. Then 0 to 9.
Yeah.
And then colon.
Underscore.
Sorry, underscore. Yeah.
Yeah. And what else? What did we do at the end?
We we
Plus,
escape the
plus, plus.
parenthesis.
We have to check
Yes.
for more than one. Now, after that getting, now this will have the function name, right?
All function name. After that,
Now,
we are escaping the parenthesis.
yeah, we have to get the parentheses and escape them
Dot star.
Dot star.
and get everything that is in there.
Yeah.
And what else?
And
Then
then
colon.
colon at the end.
Colon at the end.
Dollar.
All right.
Okay.
Now let us check this. Do file.op in input.txt. See, this is not a definition.
Mhm.
This again is not a definition.
Mhm.
This again is not a definition.
Okay.
And this is a definition. If we were to make more test cases in our input.txt and input.txt, what we can do? We can have
We can have a function name as starting with a number, or I mean
we can check that.
one then underscore
Underscore.
one
And
underscore
then,
function.
huh?
One underscore then
Any
function.
num,
Any name.
any name. Okay, I'll just do it. And then we will just do this. Not give at the end. We will not give it a colon.
Okay. Okay.
And what else we can make? Let us define some functions. Wrong functions. We can have a function name and a colon at the end, but not parentheses.
No parenthesis. Okay.
What we can have, we can have a function that has now it will automatically not check these and all, but we can test it.
Okay.
Now we'll check it. So this is a definition. This is not. This is again not a definition. This again is not a definition because we didn't put colon in there. And this again is not because we didn't put parentheses in there. And this is not because we don't have ampersand in there.
Ampersand.
Is this question clear now?
So yeah, this is passing all the all the function names definition.
Yeah,
Which
we can check one more. Wait, we can have that a calling for part, right? We are calling. Suppose we are calling function 1 inside of function 2. All right. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Then we will just do test.op. See, it has 5 function call and it has 4 function call.
Okay.
Is it clear?
So again, we will have to change it.
What about function 1, function 1? A line which is calling a function name twice.
Twice. Now we in that question statement itself it says you do not have to consider recursive calls.
Oh, okay.
It is mentioned. We can try. We can test it out. It's not like that. We suppose there was this function 1 that is calling itself. What will happen? Let us see. It will just append once, not in it again.
I mean,
No, do not have to recursively call it, but calling it twice.
Calling it twice. Okay, it is already there. Function 2.
No, like line number 1. Like we have in like line number 1.
Line number.
Where we have
Where?
semicolon in the middle.
Which line? You can tell me the line number now.
9 number
11. This
12.
12. Okay. So like this. Okay. We can do that. It will work.
now what are you inputting now?
We're just checking for just like that happened in line 1 and 2. If it checks for 1 and 1 again.
Okay.
Can go it. Just check it. It has.
It's not checking. No?
It is.
It is.
It's
But
not.
it's not. No,
Wait,
because
wait,
already we
I'll-
had this.
It has to be 6 times, right?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It is not checking.
Not checking.
Last line. It's considering only once for the last line.
Yes. What? How we can modify this?
Let me see the code.
The loop can be the other code, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Here it is for I in name. We have to check that I
Hmm.
and that regular expression, anything in there, and then just name, append it, and for again in I name, check. Okay, why it is the case? Because for I in name happens once, right? It will file that function one will come once, and when the loop ends, it will append, right? And then when it will go to next function two, the function one won't be there again.
Right.
Am I making sense?
No, sir. Because
Yes, sir.
So what I'm saying, see, this I in name will have like function 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
okay.
We have that line function 1, semicolon function 1. So first it will match $1, $0 is I and dash. This way it will match with 1, with
Hmm.
function 1, and then it
Okay.
will increment.
Okay.
All right. But then the for loop will change its value to function 2, but we do not have function 2 there.
It
But
will.
see, it will first it will get function 1, and in our line we have two function 1s.
I here is function 1
One.
and $0 has two function 1s.
Two function 1s. It will
Okay.
check just for one. It
Just
is
for
just
the
checking
first
for
function
one.
1.
Yeah, it is just it is incrementing just one. If it exists there, it is appending one. It is not checking how many times it is there.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So how should we come out that?
So how can we do that?
So you're saying it is just taking the literal function and checking with the pattern.
Yeah, just the
If it
pattern,
is
not
just
not
the
the
pattern.
thing not the how many time it is being there.
How
Just
many times function 1 is repeated, right? In
Yeah.
$0.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use grep kind of commands inside this one, right? Can
we cannot use like these commands in awk in itself.
so
Didn't get you what you're saying.
So I said we cannot use bash commands in here.
Bash commands. Okay.
Yeah. We can if we want, but that would be like a very big workaround. But it is possible in awk.
Possible to use bash script.
No. Yeah, you can use bash scripts inside awk as well, but it's a workaround. But
Very
we
lengthy.
can do this within awk itself without relying on to bash.
So now what is our aim? Our aim is to
IM is to count the number of occurrences as well
occurrences of the function.
of that function. Yes.
Yeah.
How many times it is there?
It is okay.
If it is there, see, if it is there, then we have to check how many times is it there. then append it accordingly.
That's all the concepts. But now,
So can you think about it?
we don't know how to write my GCC. So I'm not going to that. Yes.
So basically, we have to check within $0 the number of occurrences.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. $0.
So we'll have to make another code for number of occurrences.
Mhm.
No, it is possible within this. You don't have to, we can just write see, we are getting that if it is existing, then
Yes.
if it exists there, then how many times is it existing?
Sir, you have written hyphen. It will be tilde, right?
Where?
$0 tilde.
No, it's tilde only. It might
It's
be.
still done.
I'm seeing this as hyphen.
It might be like it might be visible to you.
Okay, now it's
Yeah.
tilde. Okay.
Now we just have to check for number of occurrences in here. So how do we do that?
Forward and back, you're talking about DFS, right? Yeah, but in what? Which structure is this?
You'll have to put another if condition within
Yeah,
this.
that is that is in threat process.
If condition, how would that benefit this overall?
Hmm.
Questions only, I can just yeah. Topological solution. Okay. So, see, first of all, DFS and FLFS are concepts.
You can use or like Google or Chat GPT to do this as well.
Sure. Have a good idea.
It's not like cheating, like we are just practicing here, right?
Sir, is this going the level of OP2 is going to be like this?
Oh yeah, close to this.
Oh my God.
Thank God I cleared. You need to clear both the
I-
OPs to be eligible.
That is quite
No.
One is
Just
sufficient.
one is sufficient.
I couldn't clear the first one, sir.
Okay.
Arre.
Opponent on this.
Yeah, it's not like you cannot do it. There are like the questions that we discussed yesterday, they were relatively easy. So
Yes,
if you were to just solve 3 questions, then you will just pass.
Question we are
questions.
discussing today is next level.
Yeah, just
Difficult for me.
yeah, actually we were discussing about in the second
How many
second section.
sessions like this you have had, sir? You had yesterday also? And
I had one the day before yesterday. It was just around for replit questions, and this was that we started this yesterday, and now we are continuing it.
day before the recording we have, sir?
No, actually, it like we had a system problem. That's why it was my audio was not recorded.
So it was just replit questions.
Yeah, just replit questions. Week
That
7.
I've discussed with you.
Yeah.
No idea, sir.
Okay, so can we keep this as tomorrow's homework?
Okay.
I
I'll share
had
the
a-
code.
Can you please share this?
Yeah, I'll share the code, and I want you to discover this actually because it's already 1 more hour, almost 50 minutes up. So I'll just share this. I hope you understood this much completely.
Yes, this is clear, sir.
This code has many many modifications from the original code, right?
Original
I mean,
code.
original code means the question which we discussed today. For that, the code which we had written here.
Huh.
But this is a different modification, right? I mean,
The actual
modified it.
we have just tackled all the edge cases.
Hmm.
That's it. If there are any edge cases, then we have tackled it. And this is one another edge case that she pointed us out, that if there are multiple function calling in the same line, how would we do that? And we have to check it now. So I hope that you'll do this. We will have a session tomorrow as well. I'll ask them. I guess there's no mail for that. I'll ask them to push that mail for that as well. So
Tomorrow, no session.
the regular session is like from 7 to 8, but like currently NPP is also going on, right? So so that is from 7 to 9. So you have to do that as well. So I won't be taking session from 7 to 9. I'll keep them. I will ask them to share the timing for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, you have session 7 to 8.
No, actually, I'll ask them to change it because
Okay, change it. Okay.
I'll keep you updated with that. I'll post it on Discord as well, and I have them push the mail. All right.
Yeah, sir.
Just copy paste this.
Can I use DFS? Why can't I use DFS? See, the answer is right. We cannot use.
Is it
DFS
clear
to
now?
make this shortest one. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So yeah, can have that. I really want you to tackle that thing, that edge case, and share the solution to it.
Sir, before we close, I had a doubt in the replicate question for week 6.
Week 6. Oh, all right. You can ask.
The doubt was in question number.
You can present your screen as well.
Can I present, sir?
It is not visible yet. You can present. You can present.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Actually, my mic was off. I didn't see. Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So, sir, I had problem in this one.
Okay. Multi-line comments are bounded by either this or this. Write a set script that converts all the comments inside that total code to single line. Okay.
Majority of people, but otherwise,
Okay, so you just need to get everything that is between triple quotes.
This was my approach.
How are you doing it?
Sorry.
Okay. All right. I see. I mean, that is very extensive.
Yeah, this is. I took help of online, so I could. I mean,
That is very extensive.
Any simpler approach, sir?
Does it work?
No, it won't.
Okay, okay.
Won't.
You can just comment this whole thing out. It's too many characters. I guess you cannot comment in here. I don't know. Oh. You can just copy paste this in another file in Notepad, perhaps. Close the recording.